Chibai low, Musai, Minute low there, around through Musai. Oh, needy like where are any like where are in widow by your and light down. Jesus, calling Gondola.
Meet Wiratu, Myanmar's fascist monk. Now we've been trying to get an interview with Wiratu himself, but he jet sets all the time around the country. On this week's In Focus, we're in Myanmar to find out why Muslims are fearing for their lives. Mandalay, Myanmar's cultural centre and former royal capital. It's a beautiful city, packed with the treasures of the country's history. The palace, the dozens of pagodas, and Mandalay Hill. The country has been opening up to foreigners along with the democratic movement, and tourists have been flocking here to see a culture so long hidden behind military rule. The city, like the rest of Myanmar, is majority Buddhist. Pagodas are almost everywhere you look. But like in the rest of Myanmar, Mandalay has a Muslim minority. Until recently, the communities have been living in peace. A Muslim man lies dead by the side of the road. His wife is distraught. Recently, a Buddhist woman was allegedly raped by a Muslim man. The police posted the information on the media. Some Buddhist groups got angry. It's difficult to film in this town. The police keep a tight rein on journalists, but just over the road is the tea shop that was owned by the alleged rapist, a Muslim man. A couple of months ago, a Buddhist mob came here looking for trouble, looking for revenge, but then local Muslims came out to defend the shop. There were clashes. Across the street, an eyewitness offered to tell us what happened. We went to his balcony overlooking the shop.
Some group of men came, then local Muslims came to protect the shop. More crowds gathered and then the police came. On this occasion they were able to stop things getting out of hand.
Down below we were pointed out a group of Muslims carrying food. They are on their way to a Buddhist temple to give offerings to Buddhists on a holy day. This tradition has stretched back decades, a sign of once good relations between the two groups. But this eyewitness, a Muslim, says he can no longer walk outside his home at night. He's not alone. The wife of This is Wiratu, perhaps Myanmar's most famous Buddhist monk. His hate speech against Muslims has shocked the world, and for many disgraced his faith. Pictures of himself adorn the walls. Monks are revered almost like gods. Wiratu's image also recently graced the cover of Time magazine. He responded by saying the magazine had committed serious human rights abuses for publishing the story. He then went on to blame Muslims for the article, saying that he believed that Arabs are in control of the global media. Although he is not here, his hate speech is not hard to find. Around the temple complex are boards set up to educate fellow monks and visitors. Here we have the story of a Buddhist woman who was married to a Muslim man, and it tells the story here of how she was killed by her husband for practicing Buddhism and not Islam. Down here we have lots of newspapers telling us stories about how bad Muslims are, and over here some very graphic photographs. On this one it says this is what's happening in the desecration of Buddhist shrines. It's these kind of gruesome pictures sent around via social media that stir up hatred in countries and conflicts around the world. Pictures like these can turn normal people into extremists.
မပြီးသေးဒီအမြတ်ငွေရန်သူလက်ထက်ရောက်သွားမြို့ဝါသာသနာအကုန်နဲ့နာဒီငွေတွေနဲ့မင်းကလေးတွေကိုရှူမယ်အတရားဓမ္မဘာသာသွတ်သွင်းမယ်မွေးလာတဲ့ကလေးတွေအကုန်လုံးတိုင်းပြည်ရဲ့အန္တရာယ်ဖြစ်ဘာသာကိုဖျက်ဆီးမယ်သာသနာကိုဖျက်ဆီးမယ်
So we have no futures.
ඔබ දන්නවද? ඔබ සමහර විට නොදැන ඔය මුස්ලිම් හෝටල් වලට ගිහිල්ලා කාලා බීලා හැම ඇති. දන්නවද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අල් කුරානේ තියෙන නීතිය? මොකක්ද නීතිය? ඔවුන්ගේ නීතිය තමයි ඉස්ලාම් නොවන මුස්ලිම් නොවන අන්‍ය ජාතික වන අන්‍ය ආගමික වන ඕනම කෙනෙකුට කෑමක් දෙනවා නම් තීමක් දෙනවා නම් තුන් පාරක් කෙල ගහලා තමයි දෙන්නේ. තුන් පාරක් කෙල ගහලා තමයි දෙන්නේ. හෝටල් වල ඔය බොන තේ එකට කෙල පාරවල් වැදිලා ඇති. මුස්ලිම් හෝටල් වලට ගිහිල්ලා කාපු කෑම වලට ඔබ දන්නේ නැතුව කෙල පාරවල් වැදිලා ඇති. ශරියා නීතිය ඕකයි.
This monk isn't from Myanmar, but from Sri Lanka. Last year I travelled there to film a similar story about the BBS, Buddhabala Sena, a racist group of monks inspired by Wiratu. Like in Myanmar, Sri Lanka has a minority Muslim population who are now under threat. Hatred is being stirred up by a group of monks, once again with links to the government. At the BBS offices in Colombo, I interviewed their founder.
ගහ ගැනීම මරා ගැනීම ලේහලා ගැනීම ඒ බුද්ධ ආගමේ කොහෙවත් නැහැ හිංසනයක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇවිල්ලා වෙඩි තියනකන් අපිට භාවනා කරන්නද කියේ ප්‍රශ්නේ අපිට කියන්න තැනක් නැහැ ලෝකේ. ඒ නම්බර්ස් ගණනින් ඒගොල්ලෝ ලෝකෙ ඒගොල්ලන්ට මුදල් තියෙනවා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අපිට අවශ්‍ය ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් බුද්දිස්ට් ෆ්‍රන්ට් එකක් හදන්න. ඒ ආයුධ වලින් සන්නද්ධ වෙච්ච ත්‍රස්ත බිය නැති කරන්න නම් අපි මතවාදීව ශක්තිමත් හමක් ලෝකෙ නැගී.
The BBS used the same slogans as Wiratu. Muslims breed too much. They have violent, terrorist tendencies. They are trying to Islamize the country, therefore we must fight back. And once again, with a popular base already secured and with little or no government condemnation, they are growing in popularity. Before 1988, Myanmar was a communist country. Almost all industry was nationalized and brought under government control under the Burmese way to socialism.
So, before 1988, there's no too much religious discrimination. Because of, at that time, the socialism, so every human has a same value and same dignity. So we treat lights not so much difference. So we Muslim lights local people, we have every nearly equal rights.
In 1988, after years of student pro-democracy protest, socialism was overthrown, not by the people, but by a military coup. Since then, the military has ruled over the country.
After the 1988 military coup, so Muslims also involved in the NLD party and also they support very strongly to the lady Dawn San Suu Kyi. So that's we are the target. So government makes a well plan to eliminate us in the political movement and also the anti-government movement. So that time military intelligence starting to make some discrimination and to distribute the hate speech on us. It's nearly 26 years after that now this success. Now every people in Myanmar mostly don't like us because of the.
For Muslims, their enemy is not the Buddhists, but the government and security forces they say are behind the violence. For many Muslims, especially those with families, leaving Mandalay is now the only option. The risk of getting killed in the street simply for being a Muslim is too great.
Do you think that in the future there could be much stronger violence against Muslims?
Sure, we have no security. Every people can be insult or every people can be endanger us. So we have no legal protection.
And
Yes.
so what do you see for the future for Buddhists and Muslims here?
Unsafe and unsecure. Oh, we can pray to Allah. So only Allah can save us. We must take care about that.
So who are you going to ask for help then?
Currently, I think only the God can save us. Only God can save us.